at the Emma Throne, where we just made it to Axis's kingdom, and it is not as we remembered it. It is horrifying, and mushrooms, and zombies, and weed, and robots everywhere, and just the worst kind of things you can imagine. Oh, we could use some more fish right about now. Good thing we bought an unhealthy quantity. Good. And we were kind of going south from this room. Actually, I probably should carry on. I always, as I've said, like to go in the side path first and get, like, treasure chests and things whenever I can. But it's quite often to me in these kinds of games not clear which way should be headed forward and which way should be headed to a side thing. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is the other side of this like garden path that we've been to already. And I suppose there's no way to like hack this up from this side or anything and kind of like cut a way through. Never mind then. So this is just back to the main sort of foyer, but it's also currently blocked off, so never mind that. Maybe there'll be some kind of button we do later on that's like purge the area of whatever's. Those little drones lower your defense, as we learned last time, so bad news bears. We have to imagine that Evelyn and co have made it around here somewhere, but I assume they just like flew in through the top or something rather than going underground like we are. And you wonder why we didn't follow suit, but all these weird towers that project images of a beautiful place, but don't actually seem to be... They seem to be just tricks. Yeah, and you can't really examine these things. They sort of turn towards you, but don't really do anything when you talk to them, so never mind that. Oh, hey, it's another corpse!
Freedom.
Nice, that, yes, good. Well, the thing about that is, look that way, bang! So I can strike. Make the next little attack you do be even that bit more, damage heavy. And I'm the only one who's lost any health here, so I'll be doing it a Leviathan's tongue. They did just a little less health than I healed, so I've still profited. Take that, zombie. I meant to do boomerang, my bad, sorry. It's fine, we'll still be alright. Bang! Like I said, I'm the only one who's low on health, so she didn't need to do a heart drain, and that'll be a good level for Rerra. 1 point of spirit, and some decent defense attack, and all sorts. I think maybe his thing is he starts with really low stats and everything, but he grows pretty fast in attack and defense and all, because he's catching up to, if not exceeding, Papel and Arra already, I would have said. Which makes some sense, because he's like an old warrior, he's kind of out of practice. Well, he's not got our attack power, but he's matching her Papel in defense. His dex and agility are still a fair bit behind ours, though. Anyhow, I feel we may have done this area a disservice by powering all this stuff on again, but it was the only way in, or so it seemed, so I can't be too upset. Is this a chest of some kind? Oh, an Axis's Kingdom relic. Righty. I don't think I looked at the last relic we picked up, did I? The monolithic one. Let's do that now. An ancient piece of Argur architecture. The teal light pulsing from its sensor is made of from crystallized lava flowing deep beneath Voska. Interesting. We found that stuff in the old world, so I guess the Argur used to be in the same underground area where that Axis's Kingdom is currently situated. A mysterious device with roots emerging from within. It's similar to those of the Mimic and the Argur, with strange pulsing light. Perhaps with help, Axis formed a more modern variation. I hate the sound of that! It's very interesting, though, how the blue vines, at once they represent, like, industrialism, because they're all, like, these hyper, all-consuming, naturally destroying figures, but at the same time, they produce life and beauty, or at least they purport to. They're kind of both sides of that same coin, which is horrible. The cradles! Now, why does that fill me with an unyielding sense of dread? The cradles. I'm not especially fond of that. Are these the cradles? Oh, it's creepy. The vines look like they're growing like hands to paw at the walls here. I also have no idea what I'm doing in this room, if anything. Maybe this is the sort of thing that one must... Oh, it looks like the doors should open here, does it not? Maybe I didn't power this cable over here and I ought to. I know I was just saying that seemed like it did more harm than good, but... Gameplay-wise, I think we were meant to be doing it. Let's follow this cable back. I do love how whenever you get near these things, a caption just appears on the screen that just says, Defense minus 100%. Can't read this one for some reason, this little monolith here. Oh, I see, that cable's going all the way back through the garden. So we gotta head back to the foyer and head right. At least for the moment, the monsters don't seem to be respawning in here. So once we've cleared an area out, we can be pretty safe walking back through it. I see, so if I'm in another situation like this, I want to try and lure, either the drones or the monsters away from the drones before engaging. We never were to the right of this. Oh, except to the right, just seems to bring us back right here. Hold on just one moment. Perhaps there was somewhere I could have activated a thing with my pedal in that room that was sort of like the garden. You have to wonder what this big centerpiece is about. Is it some kind of elevator that we'll activate later? Because the cable clearly goes down into this garden room over here. I just didn't actually follow it all the way along last time because I didn't realize it was one I had not activated yet. It kind of goes into the middle here, then... It's hard to say where it goes after that. So is there some way to get rid of these trees and stuff in this room? Oh, no, never mind. The cable goes out the other side here. Ah, I see. My bad. Sorry about that. Oh, it's got a monster in it? Why and how and oh, what? The entire pillar that's powering the area is a monster? I don't like that at all. Golden shot for your agility. They've lowered our attack, so I guess I might as well go for a sunken strike to just rebalance things. It said it was weak to piercing, but it only did 200 damage? Has it lowered our attack that much? Hang on a sec. Yeah, it's lowered our attack a fair bit. Oh, and it's taken away your golden shot somehow. Get that back, please. Go for a lunar strike. Bang! Because at least that doesn't rely on your attack. Now go for a sunken strike from you. At least this thing doesn't have as much health as you'd expect from a giant, massive energy pillar, but Boomerang! Bonk! Doesn't resist slash either. Eve! No, I was going for me with those big tentacly hits. I'll keep going with Leviathan's tongue. I don't know why I'm doing so little damage at the moment. Oh no, I guess it did. It maybe only whacked my attack power down. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, Steel Boomerang and Lunar Storm will definitely bring it down. Or Lunar Strike, rather. Lunar Storm is something we don't have yet. Oh, sorry, it's back to you, pal. You were already at max health. I didn't have to do one of those. That's fine. Lunar Strike will finish it. We didn't come off so bad after that, as much as you'd expect. Anyway, turn that on now. Thankfully, these corpses didn't come to life. Sorry, I just walked over your body. Man, the art style in this game is so cool. I love that each area seems to have been hand-painted. There's like a special care and attention to every corner. Anyway, now that this stuff is all on, it's fine. I mean, it looks pretty on otherwise, because all this stuff is still working. It's just the one door that I wanted open didn't work. Which is all these bunch. Oh, it's projecting the image of a really lovely place all of a sudden. Oh, horrifying. Interesting, the architecture is so strikingly similar to that of Kara as well. Oh, disturbing. Because without the projection of like this nice area, this area looks a lot like the Minix Swamp. Can we go inside here? No, good. I didn't really want to. If anyone could get inside there, they would see something horrifying that no person should see. Anything over to the left here? No. It's creepy how it looks like these are just rows and rows of doors. I guess they were like the citizens' barracks or something like that. Oh, the projection doesn't reach up this far. We gotta be getting to the heart of the castle somewhere around now. The cradles. Ugh. Chilling. This whole place is very chilling. I kinda love it. It's one of my favorite places we've visited so far. So we can keep heading up the stairs, or we can head into this little building here. I'm sure nothing friendly is gonna await us in here, but may as well have a look. See what kind of... Oh, this is all the people had to work with? Oh, so it's like the Matrix? People were just like locked in these buildings and used as fuel? Someone was saying to us that Axis literally used his people as fuel. It was Gendio, wasn't it? I didn't realize quite how literal he was being. I thought it just needed energy from the surrounding area of the throne.
You are not inside your cradle. Please return to it immediately so you may begin reintegration with the throne. Keeping this kingdom powered depends on you. Please do not resist.
Hey, whoa, hands off, buddy! I'm not going back to the throne! Even if you gave me 2 bleeding cacti! Haha! Bet you weren't expecting me to say 2, were ya? That's hard to come by. Slash! Power! It's powered itself. I don't understand how that works at all, but I guess it's just getting warmed up. I think but in doing so, though, it's forsaking its health bar. I don't think it'll be able to get another blowout on us before we finish it off with that. So bad move, pal. Creepy how much this was automated and is still around. Received 1 catacomb gorget? Gorget? I don't know what that word means. Or is. It's gotta be some kind of equipment, right? Looks like a bangle of some kind. Defense by 5 and spirit by 5%. Not better than anything we've got at the moment. Oh, sorry. Increases defense by 5 and reduces spirit by 5%. So eventually that'll be something Arra probably wants. Because she's not doing anything with spirit. Creepy. And they weren't even lying about it as well. They were full on telling the people that they were being used to populate the throne. I mean, I don't know which would be worse. If they weren't telling them or if they were. And just forcing them to go along with it anyway. Pretty twisted one way or the other. Cradles. Now I understand what it means. Horrific. And astonishingly Matrix-like, actually. For where I thought this was headed. Hey, pal, let's get you a bit more agility so we can get the hell out of here as fast as possible. Are these bodies gonna get up? One of them surely is, right? Not all of these are gonna be... Oh, there are so many bodies! I feel like we're getting really close to the heart of this. I am decidedly nervous. Oh, it seems like there's more fresh air or something out there, though. It's a bit brighter. Oh, why, the ground? No! Alright, go back! The ground is cracking beneath your feet. Okay, never mind. Down is not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go nowhere but nowhere close to this place. Arra! Yeah, I'm alive. Don't worry. I just fell like 300 feet. I mean, you got shot in the face by yourself earlier and we're fine. I think we're just really good at this whole not dying thing. Is this Arra narrating? The walls became frail, and I began to wonder if I'd made a mistake. Oh no, it's Axis. In another dream, because she's feeling really reminiscent right about now. Again and again the throne is taken, but the people always come to reject it. Yet they never learn. They continue to take it, going down the same path. This is the last thing he said to us before putting us in the box, is it? Perhaps the path is not what must be removed. Each of my daughters a sacrifice, pure vessels for this ideal world every holder longs for. It's no longer in my hands. Through their struggles, I can only hope they someday learn. Learn what? Wait, why did Papal scream Arra if she's still with me? I guess we all just fell down together and we're just fine now? Wait, I can just climb back up? That was a lot of drama for it just became a staircase. They really acted like I was going to get separated from them there. Jeepers. Here's that old mural with someone who looks like me fighting these dragons. I'm not quite sure I understand what he meant by each daughter a sacrifice. I guess his intention was that we fail to destroy the throne? That we die trying somehow? But I'm not sure how that helps him. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding here. Ooh, but it is maximally spookalicious. See how many more synonyms for scary I can find in this episode. The cradles they'd been in were coffins. And not the cushy kind, from what I can tell. What is this place? Oh, Papel and Nuo. Oh, no, okay, we were canonically separated from them, I see. They were just still in our party, so they didn't mess up their status effects, I guess, is all.
You're back! We were afraid you'd been buried in that pit.
Nah, it turned into a staircase, actually. How did you guys get here? Alright, it looks like we're in a room left beneath the Sky Castle. It must have never made it up. Sorry.
Arra?
Oh, she's just having some flashbacks of them breaking in, I guess. One of the coffins gone. Oh, they killed everyone else. I see. So in theory, I should have been the only one. Only, that looks a little more like Evelyn than me. The Red Kingdom's king. So she was one of Axis's daughters also. But then how didn't she age? In all the time that I was put in, like, my magic coffin. Unless just being put in the coffin at all gives you, like, unnaturally long life or something. Or maybe I'm misreading the situation, and this is only, like, 10 years after Axis's kingdom fell. But I thought it was supposed to be, like, 100 years, since the world changed so drastically. Oh, but maybe the world didn't actually change as drastically as I'd thought. And it's just that our view of the world was wrong because we were tainted by all the, like, projections in this area.
What was that?
So 2 of my brethren are dead in these coffins. That coffin there is the one that he threw over the edge with me in it, and that's the one Evelyn came from on the top left there. I don't know, but I can't imagine it's something that's going to be friends with us. Man. Sorry for shoving you, Sierra. I just got overcome with emotion and grief thinking about my brothers and sisters all getting stabbed in their sleeps. Oh, here's Evelyn. God, you really took the easy route, you know? Did you see the things we had to put up with back there? Father tried for so long to discover the truth of this world. He gave birth to us so that we could decide its fate, grooming all 4 of us to understand the reasons for the throne. We were meant to be the culmination of that reasoning. Ones with the throne could enact their own visions, but without the people's understanding, we would always fight back. That was my role, to let everyone understand. But you went against that, didn't you? Not just now, but then as well. You're remembering, aren't you? You went against Father's plan. You were the one who didn't listen. You had to be silenced. Your descent brought to an end before it enabled more rebels to strike. That explains why I have the crown of silence on me, but then why would he save me by throwing me out of the castle and telling me to destroy the throne? You realized I was right at the last minute? Hey, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't put that on, Papel. Sure, quick, before she gets to... Oh, crap. That's not ideal. I assume it's going to grant her some kind of power over this area. The White Crown, however, would make its bearer queen of Axis's castle. To think he would have given it to you. Father wasn't always wise. We're also lucky that you were silenced instead of him. What were you thinking about all this? That if the throne were destroyed, humanity would solve its own issues? We've suffered at the helm of this decrepit world for an eternity, and you'd have us suffer another. The throne is what gives the world life. We're bound by it. We serve the world. Doesn't have to be that way, Evelyn. Oh, hey, a bow shooter, quick. Ah, world breaker. Not fun. Bang. She got a bit of a manic grin on her face, doesn't she? I meant to put Sunken Strike on. That, my bad. I better go Dreadnought. Hold nothing back here. Stance. Oh, she changed to a parry stance right before I'm about to shoot her. That's not ideal. Hey, I hope your parry doesn't do all that much damage. She dodged it. Oh, I guess at least that means she doesn't get the parry attack on us. Thunder Strike. Bang. Battle in complete silence as well. Stupid rank. We're holding our own so far, but no telling what kind of skill she's got. Sort of similar to ours. But she's got a blade that can strike down the Ember Throne. I'm sure it can cut through people as well. I'm gonna go for a Dreadnought Slash again. Definitely won't miss this time. Ah, yikes. She got some damage on her, especially when she's hitting the squishier people among us. Hi-yong! Definitely won't miss this time. There we go. That was not at all worth it, because Papel's doing way more. Yeah! To take that! What? What are you talking about? I had like full health. It's the same outcome again. When will you learn, I wonder? This was supposed to have ended. You chose that path yourself. Have you forgotten? I've forgotten a fair bit after being locked in a box for all those years. They'll be here soon. Arra.
We'll be alright, won't we, Papa?
We'll be fine. This is what they've chosen. So be it. The men haven't any swords. So I guess these three are Arra, Evelyn, and the fourth. Does that mean I joined the Dissidents army or something? When I was like 10? Without a sword, man's ambition is cold.
You lied! You were wrong all along. We were fit for this world. You're the one who took the star, pushing your own dreams on it. These castles and fields of flowers, they brought everyone nothing but suffering.
Arra?
She never listened. She's a delinquent and now a murderer.
Ow. Did you just knock me out with one punch? Brought everyone misery. How selfish can you be? Just because it's made you miserable, you can't see this grand part we play in the throne's maturity. A monster! She's always been this way. She's the one who should be silenced, not Father! Damn. She's the one who should be silenced. I think this is Axis saying this. Oh no, it's me, maybe. It was me. It was my fault all along. I took the black sword. I struck Axis, hoping to end the thing that I had thought had stopped me all along. This crown was supposed to save me from those words, those thoughts. I don't think that's true, Arra. I think it was to save them from the truth. You. What happened to you? Wait, maybe that's Evelyn saying that now. Sorry, they're changing speakers without writing it. You. What happened to you? You're a waste. Leaving your sword and staying silent. You could have stopped it, but you didn't. And you never will. Well, and maybe it's Arra saying it, actually. I'm so confused. I'm just going to read it neutrally. That isn't the person I wanted to be. It's right here and you won't take it. Haven't you realized? You were right all along. If you don't take your sword back, nobody else will. They'll wait for their stars. Was that Evelyn saying that to me? Or was that Arra talking to herself? Or was that one of the other siblings talking to me? No, but the other siblings are dead. Oh, was that one of the other siblings talking to me from beyond the grave or something? I'm extremely confused about what just happened. After all of this, you stubbornly make the same mistakes. Oh, good. We're gonna carry on fighting. Good. Ah, hey, why do you always get to go first? You're so mean. Like to see you parry a bullet. Parry this, you filthy casual. I just shot her out of the parry stance. That's hilarious. Second strike. Dreadnought slash. Dreadnought slash is not my ideal thing. I probably am better off. It's more efficient to just do a normal attack because Dreadnought slash keeps missing. It was something I relied on really heavily early on in the game, but it hasn't really paid dividends, so to speak. So I should just carry on. Using better skills. This is a cool remix of the main theme, though. So I only partially understood what that little flash of images was supposed to tell us, but ultimately the end it reached is that Arra is now realizing that it wasn't a mistake doing what she did to Axis. Well, I mean, it was maybe a bit the most violent way possible. One of the more violent ways to make that call, but it was still the right call that this had to be. Someone had to put an end to this, and she was in a position to. Nice one, Papel, with all these steel boomerangs and that crit. Absolutely perfect work. Which is what I was thinking all along. Dragon Strike. I didn't like that skull that got applied to me, but it doesn't matter anyway, because guess what? No more of you, Evelyn! Oh, that would have been so poetic if I was the one to finish her off. But fine. Papel can just shoot her. That works too. Bang! Evelyn, calm yourself. Our dad was a bit of a whack job, alright? Is this really the way things should be going? Look around you.
You don't even understand. I was closer to him than you ever were. You were just a young idiot. We were closer than any of you.
It's not a competition, Evelyn. Monarch. We've been over this before, Axis.
I tell you now, the Sere control the East. We cannot stand still and watch their smoldering crusade continue.
It's right, you know. The star could help us bring humanity back into dominance. Is that what this is about? Dominance? Was this about dominance when the native races were devoured alive by it? Was it about dominance when our dead ancestors warned us this world was not long for us?
I plead with you to listen, Council. The seed has almost sprouted. It is not long before the star spreads its arms above us. We are approaching its final days. It was never meant to stay such a small, shimmering light.
Sprout! Have you gone mad? Axis, I no longer care for your fairy tales. Take your diseased trinket and leave. Do not curse us with your rambling any longer. Mankind is through with stars. We will build our own legacies.
I won't let this happen. I will not let you sacrifice our fates to the desert.
What will happen, Papa?
The same thing that always has. When faced with the decision to build their way to the sky or be swept up by angels, humans always make the same choice. And they always will. This is the same theme that played in the intro, way back in episode 1. They revel in their pride, and when it comes time to sacrifice it, they always give in. The throne thrives off of that weakness.
We'll survive, won't we?
I'll make certain.
I don't want anything to happen to you. I want to be with you forever, Papa. Oh, unless Arra is Evelyn's old name, maybe. That would make sense also. No matter who abandons you, I'll be your angel. I will never leave you. Everyone just teleported behind me.
You never grow. I won't let you betray this world.
Well, you're gonna have to try a little harder because I've got a black blade now. I took it from you.
Now you've traded the crown for a sword. You'll die by that demonic blade. I hope you've made the right choice. We'll soon see whether our utopia will be earned by rebellious infants or its loving mother.
You've done a terrible thing this day. Alas, once the many future generations come to know your name, I pray history has the mercy to forgive your foolishness. If you're lucky, others will overshadow them. A fairer world cannot exist without Miss Evelyn's pure vision.
This is what you call pure? This was Axis's dream. Or what it amounted to, anyway. But hey, we got a black blade. Oh, right, yeah. This sword could probably smash this old throne here. So will the Amber Throne become like a giant nature dragon if left to mature? Or is the dragon purely metaphorical? As in, it's a big, scary entity.
Forged to slay the dragon.
Oh, yeah, it's expected to have, immediately. That was super convenient. When we tried to break it, it was going to take us 20 turns. Ow! Oh, but it hurt me to do it. Arra!
How pointless. All of this because of you. I guess maybe this is Arra thinking to herself. Or maybe it's Evelyn / Arra speaking to her. No, I guess Arra is different because Evelyn, now it's calling her Evelyn. Wait, no, except I've got the crown on, so this is present day? Evelyn just flew away and then came right back? Or I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. You refused the white crown out of fear, then directed your fear at our benefactor. But now it seems you finally understand humility. Perhaps that silence will help you understand your errors. You'll have plenty of time to think about them, to learn to accept them. If anything, I hope it teaches you that you were not right. I am not looking too good. Are you feeling all right now? I guess that was another vision. But it was weird because it showed us both as adults. When I'm pretty sure the crown was placed on my head and I was exiled when I was a wee lass. Although I didn't actually kill Axis with that, I guess, because he was still alive to later tell us to destroy the Ember Throne. I just injured him pretty gravely when I stabbed him in the back. Are you feeling all right now? It will have to do. We don't have much farther left. Arra is just past this cliff. Cliff? What a fascinating place. This is the mountain that splits the northern and southern halves? You can gawk later. We got Axis' sword now, though, right, Arra? The throne won't be standing for long. We've gotten this far. But what was it that Evelyn was here for? Because she already had a black blade, did she not? This looks... Oh, the crown. Duh. It'll give her passage through the Ember Throne's... the Sky Castle, I guess. This looks like... the path taken by the refugees. Doesn't look like it was easy for him. Arra, it is difficult for the Auric to forgive Axis. No, you know what? I get that. I wasn't his #1 fan by the end either. He has caused irreparable damage to this world's diplomacy. Trust in mankind as the world's ally was a haven for many. Some must not have had that trust broken, however, or the refugees may have never made it. So we're heading up the refugee path, I see, up to the northeast, which will take us somewhere near the divide, and then back to Arra. So yeah, there were a handful of story events that have taken place so far in this episode that I haven't quite understood the meaning of, but I'm getting the broad strokes anyway. And we've just got a whole bunch of lore dropped anyway. So we rebelled against Axis way before. We were the first one to see that this whole plot was wrong. Evelyn was indeed one of our sisters. Or I guess they were all sisters, because he said each of my daughters. So he only had daughters, he didn't have any sons. And I'm not quite sure whether Arra is the same person as Evelyn or not, or if she's one of the other two. I'm still a little confused on that matter, but Arra and Evelyn at the very least were very loyal to Axis and his cause, and we were not. And so when we stabbed him, they gave us the crown of silence. I don't know why they didn't just kill us then. I guess just he didn't have the heart to kill his own daughter. Or maybe it was that he secretly knew we were right. But he put the crown on us, I think probably both as an act, like a to save face and be like, see, I punished her for being wrong, even though he maybe actually secretly thought we were right, but also to protect me so I didn't go spouting my correct ideals near anyone who would try and kill me for them. But I'm still not quite sure at what juncture he threw me out of the castle. I assumed the way they made it look was that, because in the beginning video, he throws us down and he says, destroy the Ember Throne, puts us in a box, throws us down the cliff, and where we land is all covered in greenery and everything. And then it does like a transition where it turns to desert. So I had to assume that meant that several years had passed, and it's also why we were a kid then and an adult now. Except then there was this flashback we just saw with Arra sitting out looking at the window with the crown on. So that's after she's rebelled against him and got the crown placed on her. And she was fully grown, and Evelyn, also fully grown, came to insult her, basically. So I'm not sure if that was just meant to be, like, rhetorical, it was in Aura's mind, because Evelyn literally just flew away when that happened, so that the order of events there got confused me just a little bit, I will say. And by just a little bit, I mean rather so. I figured this one would come alive. Looked a little different from the others. May as well put this poor thing out of its misery, he said, using that as an excuse to get a bunch more money and experience. Oh, I bet we're out of our experience buff at this point, aren't we? That Evelyn fight was no short thing. Whatever the case, though, this is almost done. Because she's headed off to the... I can only imagine that what Evelyn wanted from here was the crown, and she's now headed back to the castle, thinking that because the crown supposedly makes someone into the queen of the castle and will give them some kind of power. Although I have to imagine, with everything I know about the throne, that the power is not going to be anything that like Evelyn's imagining. It's going to be something much worse. And it's going to take her over. What is this place? It's an Argur fortress. The refugees your bird's talking about must have used it to pass through Arra.
Bird, huh? You two are really making up. I thought you lizards hated humans. The Sare came from the Argur, right?
The Argur were impartial. They hated no race but themselves. They were trapped in civil war for centuries. I believe that is how Axis learned much of what he did. The technology, the nature of the throne. The Argur were extremely intelligent but socially devoid. It wasn't until something happened that they became Sare and grew a new awareness. Long ago, when the Argur still lived deep under the earth, they dug. Their kingdoms grew through the lower layers of the world. They murdered each other in these kingdoms. Until one day, they came across something they shouldn't have. They found a red square deep within the earth. At least, that's how it's always been depicted. From it, strange things began to happen to them. They wandered to the surface, and the sun melted away their obsidian shells. The Argur who remained were murdered by the new Sare. That's how they were driven to extinction.
Wait a minute. Something doesn't add up. How does a rich kid like you figure out all this if the red lizards killed the Argur?
I had a sister. The Emperor only accepts sons. He disposes both his daughters along with sons who are too weak in infancy.
And Axis only has daughters. People have weird ideas about rulership in this place.
My sister was one of the rare few who were stronger than the sons. My father, the Emperor I mean, bound her chest and scarred her body, attempting to hide her identity. She found out about all this as she grew. She's the one who told my brother and I of the world, of the Empire's evils. We began to work tirelessly to put an end to it, until one day she was discovered and murdered. She was a strong woman. Perhaps she had more Argur blood in her than the rest of us. To the Emperor, there is a way to succeed in the weak rust the engine's walls. Sacrifices must be made if we are to experience a world without them. If these are the sacrifices the world desires, perhaps the world is more a monster than the Emperor.
Well, that's a new and out-of-place bit of lore I was not expecting to come across at this juncture, but we did hear about his daughter earlier. Someone, I think was it one of the oracles, was using her to jeer at him. I can't quite remember. And there are Ulub all over this place. Demented Ulub. Monolith Atlas. Oh, they're like taken over by the monoliths? I don't suppose there's any way to save them. Sorry about this. But the refugee path will take us back to Arra, and then it's from there it's to confront the Emperor, I guess? Or should we just chase Evelyn to the Sky Castle? I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll know before too long. Prison! Yonk! Oh wow, the other one's way weak to it, and it got a crit also. Hard drain this one to get your health back to max, and you might be able to finish this one off with a steel boomerang. I like so, because they're weak to slash, in fact. Wowza, that did a lot of damage. Nice work, crew. Some upsetting revelations in this episode, though. I hadn't imagined that our relationship with Axis got quite so contemptuous by the end. You wonder why. Oh, and I guess that's what Evelyn was talking about, second chances. I thought she was only saying second chances because we were resisting her right to the throne now, but she meant second chances in the sense of, since it was us who first rebelled against Axis, we were sympathetic to the Red Kingdom's plight, I guess. That's pretty grim. I guess the hope of reconciling with Evelyn is pretty far off. I didn't realize she was sympathetic to his cause at all. Because I guess I didn't realize Axis was so gung-ho about the throne. I thought he had realized much earlier that it was the wrong stuff, and that perhaps he'd sent all of his daughters out to destroy it in the end, but not so. Hey, level up for me though, and some door defense, and Papel and Sira are not far away from one also. Is this something I can pick up? So it is, some kind of shell. An Argur shell relic. Oh, Papel's level 29. Good for you. Meaning we're both at another 100 skill points. Sweet. I'll have that Starbreaker now, please, and I'll swap that in over my Sunbreaker or whatever it is. See how that goes for us. Now I've got two big skills that have charge times, unfortunately. Actually, does Prism also? No, I think maybe it does. I'm not sure. And as for Papel, we haven't really swapped any new skills for you in a while, so I'll just keep buying them in order, basically. Oh, and you've also got 100 there, Sierra. We definitely do have some skills we could go for learning. Let's finally get that Serenity. And a chest over here as well, in addition to that relic. Oh, I gotta look at the relic as well. Heavy Sapphire, right? All kinds of gemstones around these old kingdoms. That thief who told us there was nothing worth taking back here was totally wrong. The Shell of an Argur, the great ancestors of the Sare, that apparently melted away when they hit the sun. They emerged from deep within the earth, and as the sun touched their bodies, molded them into the Sare. How about you? More Ulubs, they were all possessed by this whole thing. It's errant processor. So I guess this was, by the teal imagery here, this was all Argurian stuff. Go for a sunken strike to get your damage up a bit as you go for the slash after. Prism there to hit everyone. Steel boomerang on you're the one who's weak to slashing. Start with some damage there because I don't know how much the prism is going to do. Actually, may as well go for a storm as well. Ba-blam! Oh, nice. Brought both of them down. Wasn't expecting that. Fine work, Sierra. His storm is a wickedly powerful group attack because it doesn't look like all that much damage. 740 on each of them, but 740 times 3 is what? 2,220 or something like that? It's pretty considerable. How long does this refugee path stretch, do you think? Looks like some of Ura's light bleeding through. I've got a hard enough head. Stand back, I'll take care of this. I mean, I could also just shoot it. Like, Nuo's got some explosives, but... okay. Fine, we'll risk your skull. So this will surely make some kind of shortcut back to a place we've already been. Should take you back out to the cliffs around Ura. Must have been a dangerous trip for those refugees. Especially if this wall was all caved in then. What do you mean should take you? You're coming with us, right? Come on, hurry! The war waged by our emperor was terrible. I guess neither of us were content with our leaders, Sayer or Pig. I guess this is Oboa saying this? Dad's towers. Oh, is this when he was still little? It can't be that bad, right? We're using them for good. Everyone's richer than ever. Everything's advancing so fast. Oboa. I want you to keep this for me. I'm going away for a while. Big sis, you can't. What if Papa finds out? It'll be alright. I'll explain everything to him. But what if you get lost? I'll never be lost, Oboa. Remember what you said? That you wanted to be strong like me when you grow up? If you can do that, I'll never be lost. That was the last time we ever saw her. I don't know why I'm telling you about any of this. Neither do I, to be honest. It's a bit of an odd time after we just had a big slew of flashbacks from Arra's perspective as well. Ah! Hey, whoa, what? What? Easy! I wonder, Arra. Did Axis ever show you what was really going on over those mountains? No? No, of course not. Well, how did he get the sword and drop me? I was holding on to the sword. So, what? Did he just betray us? Is he heading to help with the Sayer Empire? Arra! Arra, get up! Give her time. We may need it. Says the person who earlier was like, there's no time. We have to run, even if Arra's not fine. Man, I keep getting knocked out and falling off of stuff today. You're back. The damn lizard, I knew we couldn't trust him. Sierra was right. We should have never gotten involved with them. Don't talk like that. I'm sure there's a reason behind all of this. They were always scumbags, and they always will be. Oboa has the sword, Arra. He's made his way off with it. If this was his endgame, then he's gotten the better of us. Hey, someone's coming. Kendio, is it? Oboa! Where the hell is Oboa? We ought to be asking you that. Right, what's wrong with the Sayer? We've done nothing to you. Sure thing, pig. What are you kids fighting over? Your brother has stolen one of the throne-cutting blades from Arra. Perhaps if your race hadn't been so selfish, this would... Save your nonsense! You pigs and birds have always been the same. Even before the war with Axis, you looked at others with disdain. You're just ignoring the world around you and looking for someone to blame. You're not justifying anything like this. If we could fix things, we would. My brother and I made a promise. We're going to see it through, without the other races. Arra? They want to fix things, right? Why won't we let them? They're just degenerates. See how quickly they give up and run? You aren't as grown up as you think. You're falling for the same hate everyone else is. Well, you yourself have been guilty of a bit of that Goldwood elitism in the past, haven't you, Nuo? You've no idea how many Auric were slain at their hands. If a Sayer cannot even acknowledge this, their union is lost. Can't you look ahead at all? Who cares about your grudges? Evelyn, you... When all this is through, I'm afraid we've no humans left to trust. Your kind are scum. But the Emperor and the Fefneron must fall sooner or later. We need that sword back or Arra won't be able to cut the throne. We both know where he is headed then.
I am not as kind as Oboa. When this is over, so are we. Gendio has joined the party. I kind of expected that was coming. So that would kind of explain why Oboa's skill set was a bit lackluster. But Gendio joins us. Interesting. Oh, for Gendio. What are his skill set like? Oh, he's got the same skills as Oboa does. Is that? So it is. All of his skills still say makes Oboa do things, though. Interesting. Never mind what I was just saying about his skills being lackluster because he was leaving the party because Gendio has the same skills. Okay, wow, this episode has all kinds of very confusing and interesting things going on. White Crown. Evelyn reached the Sky Castle's crater before we can make it, claiming the white crown that had been left behind for herself. If what Father said was true, that means the Sky Castle will simply yield to her will, to her existence, without doing a thing. However, I've been reunited with the Black Sword, the same that had dealt the mortal blow to Father. It was not entirely the rebels, but my own doing that caused Father's defeat. The sword will surely dismantle similar beings still woven to the throne. It will simply take more action than the crown. Good thing we didn't get rid of that golden broadsword just yet. After being reunited with the black sword that struck Axis, Oboa used the situation to his advantage and took the sword from me. Without it, we won't be able to strike down the Amber Throne. There must be some reason he's taken it for himself. Perhaps to keep it from the Sayer's enemies when their empire grasps the throne, or perhaps something else. Regardless, there's no doubt Oboa's headed east with it back towards the Empire, his home. I certainly didn't see that coming. So in fact, he was, in the Empire's best interest the whole time, pretending to be on the Naturalist side. But then why would he even actually go to the trouble of freeing all the slaves? Maybe he was torn, and he wasn't sure what he wanted. And Gendio, who I take it now is one of his brother, has joined us in his stead because he is ostensibly, genuinely on the Naturalist side against the Empire's enslavement behavior. Wow. So lots of things happened. They dropped so much lore on us all at once, and, with this game's unusual habit of not always labeling who's speaking, and sometimes labeling who's speaking for like one line, their first line, and not the rest of them. I was a little confused about what was going on. But the broad strokes did bleed through this thick skull, which is that we joined the rebellion way long before, and what that would suggest is that Axis realized that we were right at the last minute, but when it was too late to tell the other daughters, and so instead he just jettisoned me. I wonder why of the three remaining children, the King of the Red City took in Evelyn as his daughter. Anyhow, so we betrayed him early on there. That's why we were given the crown of silence, so to speak. He jettisoned us. Evelyn's still sympathetic to his cause, came back to get the crown so that the Sky Castle will simply offer itself up to her and she won't have to fight her way in. And then at that precise moment, with really awful timing, Oboa swiped the sword from us. So where it looks like we're headed next is we're headed to the east to try and get the sword back from him, and then Evelyn will have had time to get way ahead of us to the Sky Castle. And so by the time we get there, she'll already... I have to presume she's gonna, like, get possessed by the throne and like turn into a dragon or some kind of giant awful monster, and she'll have had time to percolate, so to speak, by the time we get there, because we'll be caught up getting the sword back from the east. And I imagine that'll also be where we fight Demeron, the last of the sages. So in other words, things have all gone belly up, but at the same time we can't be too far from the end, because all we got to do now is head to the Empire, claim our sword back, and head to the Sky Castle. Thanks for heating up, friends. The next video on the channel is gonna be some more Omori EX, where we're doing more spooky stuff, would you imagine? Little secret extra worlds and things we're tracing. I'm still not 100% sure which the way forward is, but one of the things we do will probably be the way forward. And next time here, it's very clear what the way forward is. So, that is all for now. My apologies for being pretty lost through a lot of this. But I've got the important stuff, not to worry. And that is all for now. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace! I love these things so much. Oh, how sad it will be when we have to play a video game that does not contain them. That wasn't good.